Okay, so welcome back to the last portion of our review, second quarter exam review for English 9. So let me just reiterate that I made this review for you guys. I compiled this, but I did not make your exam. It is Master Teacher Omania who made your examination. So Master Teacher Omania is one of the English teachers of FM Samante. I don't know if you know him, but he is the one who made the exam. And I am just here trying to review to you guys what are the contents of the exam and with the hope of you not failing the exam. Okay. So as you can see, we have four boxes here. Each box represent one social issue. Okay. There are a lot of social issues in the country. Okay, but there are only four which are mentioned in your module and also in your exam. But to be honest, there are a lot of issues happening in the country. So for example, we don't see here the educational issue, right? There are problems in our educational system. There are problems in the school, for example. In your classroom, kulang og lingkuranan, right? Your classroom, bahaunon, right? These are infrastructure related issues or concerns that we find in the educational system, and yet we don't see that here sa tuwang exam or even sa inyong modules. We also have political issues, right? So for example, one of the current political issues that we are hearing right now is that Mindanao wants to separate from the whole Philippines, right? Also, there's also the separation of the Marcoses from the Dutertes or something like that. So we are now uh, under these social issues. So there are political issues, family issues, religious issues, political issues, and yet we do not see that here in your exam. We only have four issues being talked about. Okay, so we are going to talk about each issue. Let's start with this poverty. Okay, so poverty is the one of the most pressing issues in the country. Poverty, when we talk about poverty, we're talking about low wage jobs. So sa ng wage, meaning sweldo. Okay. Gamay lang ang sweldo. Insufficient income. Insufficient meaning kulang. Okay. Income meaning the money that comes into your life. Mga siya ang income. So, kulang ang kwarta nga nagasulod sa imong kinabuhi that is insufficient income. You have incomes, you can consider your baon as your income because it is from the external forces nga ginabutang ang kwarta sa imuha. So your baon could be your income, but it is not your wage. Dili nimo na sweldo. It is your income, but it is not your wage. Kaya wala mo kang ginabayaran para mag-study or para mag-eskwela, right? Ginahatagan kag baon. Wala kang ginabayaran. So that is the point. Financial problems, we're also talking about finances, meaning money. Okay. So when we talk about poverty, we're talking about problems with regards to money. So mana siya ang poverty. Okay. So when you encounter the exam and when uh, when you see these terms, kaning low wage, insufficient income, financial problems, when you see these keywords, kaning mga keywords, the possible answer could be this. Okay, mo na siya ang possible answer, poverty. If you see these keywords, okay? So next, we move on to bullying. So bullying is another social issue in the country. It has actually made some lives miserable, especially when they are the victims of bullying. Bullying is also elevated from physical bullying to emotional bullying and also to cyberbullying. Kana magbully na ka sa internet or through the internet. So yeah, bullying is a social issue and it happens and you might be a victim of bullying. And when we talk about bullying victims, we don't only talk about the ones who are hurt. The victim is also the ones who are bullying, because the very reason why they are bullying is that because they are victims of bullying. Maybe their other friends are bullying them, o bully po sila sa other people, or maybe their parents or their siblings are bullying them at home. Mo nga pag-abot sa school, nagabully po sila. So actually, the bully is uh, the the sad is also a sad victim of bullying. So bullying is hurting a person based on beliefs, appearance, deficiencies, special needs, etc. Okay. So when you hurt a person because of their belief, so for example, uh, all of you are you believe in this God or in this religion, and then there's this another person who believes another God or religion or something like that, and then there are a lot of you, isa lang siya, and when you hurt that person physically, emotionally, by words or by sticks or whatever, uh that is already bullying. Okay, when you bully or hurt someone based on their appearance, kay so ba kanang pangitan mo sa yaha or something, that is also bullying based on skin color, for example, kanang mayon ka kanang uh, sa iyang kaitom kay sa mga maitom na niyan dagat, something like that. Those are expressions of bullying. Deficiencies, mga kakulangan or mga special needs, right? So if you hurt a person based on these, that is bullying. Okay. So that is it. If you see, once again, if you see these keywords sa exam, maybe the correct answer is this. Okay, maybe the choices that are going to be presented to you are the social issues. Basig mga na ang choices. So if you see these keywords, maybe this is the answer. Okay. So let's move on. We have this discrimination. Uh, discrimination is separating. Okay, when you discriminate, you separate mo ng discrimination. So discrimination, rejection based on ethnicity. So what is rejection? Kanang reject. Well, when you are being ignored or when you are not accepted, that is rejection. Okay. But there are rejections which are proper, right? So for example, not a project, right? If I gave you a project, then you have to do it. Yeah. One of you would submit a poorly made project. I could say nga, I would like to reject this project because dili siya maayong tanawon or it doesn't function well or dili gud na mao ang project. So I will have to reject that. Hindi ko na siya dawaton. But I am not rejecting that in the sense that I am discriminating. I'm only rejecting that because it is only proper. Kaya dili man na mao ang ako ang ginapabuhat. Therefore, ako siyang i-reject, right? So, rejection itself is not wrong. What is wrong is that when you reject based on ethnicity, sa manang ethnicity, this is your uh, cultural background, manay ethnicity. So for example, dili na ko dawatan imong project because you are Tagalog, right? Taga Manila ka. You're a Tagalog person, and then because I hate Tagalogs, nga dili na ko dawaton imong project because you're a Tagalog. Bisang okay imong project. So that is discrimination, right? It then becomes negative. So quite on point. So that is ethnicity. So another example is that uh, na kay mga bisita, Pasko, or maybe fiesta, something like that. And then some people are going to your house, and then some they are properly closed. Okay lang mga sanina, medyo clean sila tanawon. And then there's this another group nga medyo dili clean tanawon, medyo problematic lang suot, murag wala kay sila ligo nya. Tanawon pa lang nimo sila kay murag baho na wala nimo gisimhot. Asa man imong pilion? The first one is murag ka-level nimo. The second one is mura sila badyaw. So what are you gonna do? Asa man sa ilaha imong dawaton? Dawaton ba nimo silang duha ka group or ang isa lang imong dawaton katong the first group? So if you're going to tell me na dili nimo dawaton tong second group because mura sila badyaw tanawon, that's discrimination. Although it is your right to accept or deny anyone from or to your home, but it is fiesta man. When it is fiesta, everyone is invited. Kung dili mo kaila ni adto siya kay makikaon, dawaton nimo na because it is fiesta. So therefore, if you reject a person based on appearances, you are discriminating. Yeah, they deserve that attention. So that is discrimination. Okay. So the keyword is deserve kani. Not receiving the deserved benefits due to background. So the background could involve family, tribe, your race, your economic or religious beliefs, or etc. So not receiving the deserved benefits. If you deserve that, yeah, wala gihatag sa imo because they don't like you because of your appearance, because of the way you know, the way you present yourself, or maybe because of your religion or your friends or your defects if nakaingon na. If you deserve that and yet they reject you, that is discrimination. Okay. But if you don't deserve it and then they reject you, that is not discrimination. Okay. Um, okay, so let's move on to the next social issue, which is social media addiction. Okay. So social media in itself, that is not an issue or that is not a social issue. What is the issue here is the addiction. Frequently checking the phone or computer for notifications which become hazardous to health or safety. If you frequently kanunay check your phone or on your phone or on your computer, uh, playing, maybe surfing on the net, doing social media and stuff, TikTok, right? If you're always doing that, if you frequently do that, at the expense of your regular behavior or what is proper or what is healthy, what is safe, at the expense of that, that is already social media addiction. Meaning, if you have your regular life, normal nga flow sa imong life, if that is being hampered by social media, that is already social media addiction. If your life is based on social media, that is social media addiction. So for example, um, namoy laag, and then always ka magpa-picture sa place na yung gilaagan. Because your mindset, na may something bad, and that in itself is not bad. That is not an issue. What what is the issue there is that when you do that, because in your mind, you will look good on social media. And therefore, people will look up to you and people will like you. That is the problem already. That is the social media addiction part because it has invaded your mind by a sense. Because people are going to like you if you're going to post this. So meaning your life decisions now depend on how much people will like you on social media. To the point na murag malimtan na nimo yung mga identity. You tend to forget who you are so that you can please other people on social media. So mara siyang social media addiction. Or maybe you post funny stuff on social media, funny statements. Pero in reality, wala jud ka ka-gets atong mga funny statements. I mean, you don't really get the deeper meanings and deeper implications of those statements. Pero nag-post lang ka because it's funny. Pero you don't see na because you post it, it's no longer funny. You are the comedy, you are the funny already, not the post. Sometimes it happens. And that is the result of us forgetting who we are. putting more importance on how we look on social media than how we truly are. So ano siya ang problem. Okay. So now we have talked about four social issues. If you see these keywords, you will only have to match them with the social issue. Okay. So checking phone, computer, social media addiction. Kani rejection, deserve benefits, discrimination, low wage, poverty, hurting a person, hurting, bullying. So if you see those keywords, automatically you will have to ascribe them to uh the social issue. Okay. So those are the social issues. We are going to proceed here sa VUCA. VUCA, meaning volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. So, muna ang mga meanings anong VUCA. Okay? The VUCA, kani siya, this is a world view. Okay? Meaning, this is an idea of the world. Uh, when you when you use the VUCA idea of the world, you acknowledge that the world is volatile, the world is uncertain, the world is complex, and the world is ambiguous. Okay. Unsa may pasabutan ni karon? Unsa may pasabot sa volatile? So we examine this one by one. Okay. So the first one is volatile. When you say volatile, a current state can quickly change. Okay. So unsa man ang volatile? Kana mo alcohol, right? It's a common thing karon. Kanang alcohol is a volatile liquid. Meaning, pag imo nang biyaan ng alcohol na nakataklob, liquid na siya. Pero pag kanang alcohol, wala nimo na gitakluban, paspas kina siya mo evaporate. So yung state from being liquid, it quickly changes into gas. So mo na ipasabot sa volatile, dali lang siya magkambyo, dali lang mag-change. Okay? So in a social sense, any current state can quickly change. So for example, katong nag-COVID, okay, I think you can still remember the time na katong wala pa nag-COVID, right? Then suddenly COVID happened. So there were many economic turndowns or economic losses during the disruptions of the industries during COVID. So katong nagkaroon ng COVID, walay nakabalo nga magkaroon ng COVID, diba? Except ang katong na sa China. Pero everyone in the world was shocked by this COVID, and we haven't been able to prepare, right? So many people died not only because of the virus, but because of the economic damages that we suffered during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, kana siya, the state of walay COVID and then suddenly na COVID, that is a volatile, uh, that is a volatile event. Okay? Sa inyong life as a student, unsa man ang volatile event? For example, kanang ulan, we haven't prepared about this. Kaning mag-ulan-ulan, walay klase, always na lang walay klase. So, the current state na kanang always na klase, nag-change, nagkalit. Okay? So therefore, the world is volatile. Okay? It changes quickly and we are not prepared. So, manay pasabot sa volatile. Okay? Now, let's move on to you, uncertain. Okay? So, uncertain is the opposite of certain. Pag may kang certain, it means you are sure. So meaning if you say that you are uncertain, you are not sure. Okay? The future is never sure. Ano pasabot sa uncertain. So for example, the next trend is hard to predict. We do not know what is the next trend, right? Katong sa TikTok, man ang trend. Sa mga trends sa TikTok. Can you still remember itong mga trend? I don't know what is the trend now, pero kana ganing magsayaw-sayaw sa TikTok, for example. I don't know if you still remember na itong mga ana-ana gaya mo sa ano, "Wow, ang jowa ko, ay wow." Ano yung mga nasa TikTok. We do not know that that would happen. And while we are doing that, or while we were doing that trend, there is there was another trend emerging. So katong trend nga emerging, katong new trend, wala ta kabaloon sa to, okay? We cannot be certain. Dili pud ta maka-invent og trend. Kanya when we invent a trend, dili nato ma-sure nga that will become trending. Basing langawon lang nga, right? So it is really uncertain. Another example, kana sa Facebook, uh, kung kinsay maghaha sa imong post, kay maghatag ka og anonymous comment, right? So that is one example nga uncertain siya kay sometimes dili jud na siya mogawas sa speed. And you would think na walay nag-care sa imo kay walay naghaha sa imong post. But sometimes it doesn't appear in anyone's newsfeed, therefore dili nila makitaan. So the moment you post it, you must be uncertain nga nadyo'y dili na siya matagad. Okay? Dapat ibutan mo sa iyong mind nga possible nga dili gid siya matagad. Okay? Because you are uncertain whether matagad siya or not. So therefore, you have to expect na maybe there's a possibility nga dili siya matagad. Or maybe when you're expecting na 50 ka buk ang mag-react, pero tulo lang dahil ang nag-react sa imong post. So you cannot be certain of what is going to happen in the near future, even in the near future. So mo na siya ang point sa uncertain aspects sa understanding sa world. Okay? A new technology may arrive and future trends may be hard to predict or anticipate. So for example, wala pa mo ka-try og life na walay cellphone. Okay? Pag anak niyo sa kalibutan, nana akong cellphone. Nana ang cellphone sa kalibutan. Pag anak niyo, in our time, naanak mi na wala pa yung cellphone. So, when the cellphone came, nalahi ang world. What I'm trying to say is that, kamo, karon, naanad mo ang cellphone. Fine, there's no problem with that. Naanad mo cellphone, fine. But you have to remember that the world is uncertain. Meaning, basin na moabot nga new technology, mga labaw pa sa cellphone, mga basin kato nga new technology ang mag-shape na pod sa world. Right? Sa una, katong wala pa yung cellphone, mga kong tigulang no, nagagamit gusto sa una. Anyway, sa una, katong wala pa yung TikTok. Okay, wala pa TikTok. Pag moagi ka sa dalan nga, na nagsayaw-sayaw, you would think na nag-practice na sila o sayaw. Or kung nagsayaw na sila kalit nga, murag dili practice, maisip mo na, kauwi na, sayaw-sayaw sa dalan. May, wala ay program na rin. Right? But now, because of TikTok, if you see people dancing in the road, you would think na maybe nag-TikTok na sila, right? Maybe na sila maybe they're rehearsing or maybe they're really posting something on TikTok. Di yan yung maisip na, iha, nila yun. So, sayo sa nalang. Right? So, there's this shift ba on the thinking. Kana, wala na siya nga thinking sa una kapag wala pa TikTok. But now that there's TikTok, na siya. And we did not predict that. Wala na to naisip sa unang panahon. No? Oh, some people are going to dance here in front of the camera of their phones and then that would be okay. We were not thinking about that. It just happened. Naitabo na lang siya. Right? So that is an uncertain world. Okay, we cannot predict actually anything. So mana siya uncertain. Now we move on to the next one, which is complex. Okay, so when you say complex, a lot of things are connected to each other. Each one affects the other. Mana siya complex. If you're going to visualize complex, mura siya kanang kuan ba lambud gani. No man ang lambud kanang nagtangle na ba na yung wire nga na lambud siya sa isa ka wire nga na ano po isa ka wire na lambud na po siya dito na lambud na po siya etc. Na yung isa ka wire karon tungod atong pagkalambud-lambud pag imong siyang birahon maka-apekto sa tanang wire nga naglambud pud sa iya. Okay? So mo na ang point sa complex. there are so many things na connected and related to each other na pag lihupo nimo ang isa, maka-affect siya sa uban. Kaya mo na siya complex. So for example, an international corporation will deal with so many paperwork, regulations, laws, and cultural diversity of workers. Okay, what this example tells us is that kung na daw kay isa ka corporation, isa ka company na international, meaning uh, wala lang siya nag-exist sa isang country. Okay? Ang example, anak, may ka ng McDonald's, right? Na may McDo sa New York, may McDo sa Dubai, may McDo sa Mexico, na may McDo sa Manila, may McDo sa Davao. So, international siya ng corporation. But although the same siya tanawon, murag same lang man ang logo sa McDo, same lang ang color sa McDo, same lang ang pagkaon sa McDo. But when you actually think about it, lahi ang lasa sa McDo sa Indonesia, for example. Lahi ang lasa sa McDo sa Korea, for example. Maybe sa Korea kay medyo halang-halang. Maybe sa Philippines kay dili kay na ay choice na dili halang, na ay choice na halang. But maybe in Korea, basin halang tanan, right? Na yung mga inganana ba changes. Therefore, if you are McDo, yeah, madto kag diretso sa Korea, you're going to you're going to work out the papers dito, pang mga lisensya, mga mga tax nila dito, the regulations, ang mga batas nila dito, and then the cultural diversity of workers. So for example, uh, Jollibee. Ang Jollibee, it's just a national corporation sa Philippines, ang Jollibee. Pero in the recent years, niabot na sila og laing bansa. Okay, nag-internationalize na ang Jollibee. So katong Jollibee, nga sa Pilipinas pa lang, naanad siya nga Filipino iyahang workers. Right? Na-culture ang Filipino na iya. Pag mabot siya og New York, nagtukod siya og Jollibee dito, kailangan maisip niya nga iyang workers will not be Filipino. The workers will be New Yorkers. Kaya na naman siya sa New York. And therefore, the people of New York have different culture compared din sa people sa Philippines. So meaning when you are Jollibee, imo na siyang hunahunahon. Okay? So complex siya ba? Daghan kay kag hunahunahon. Mo na siya kasabot sa complex. Okay? Unsa man ning complex sa iyong life as a student kay kani corporation man wala pa man tay corporation mo maging may trabaho. Pero before that, since students unsa may naka-complex sa iyong life? For example, assignment. Okay? Kanang assignment, pwede ka i-judge sa imong classmates or judge ni mong sarili or maybe i-judge ka sa imong teacher kay wala ka assignment. Okay? But actually, the assignment is not only about you answering the question. Okay? Ang assignment, dili lang na siya assignment lang. It is complex. Nga naman, for example, karon ka ulan. Diba? Pag nagapusog ang ulan, nagataas ng tubig. What if you live in a flood-prone area? Sa manang flood-prone area, katong bahaunon, right? What if naka dito nagpuyok? And then, kinabukasan, nagbalik ang klase, wala kay assignment. Okay? Your teacher or your classmates or yourself might judge you na bulukan ni mo or tamara ni mo wala kayong assignment. But actually, it's not like that. The assignment is so complex. Nganong wala ka kabuhat ng assignment? Maybe kay gibahaan mo, di ba? Wala ka kabuhat ng assignment. So it's complex. Daghan kaayong factors, right? Maybe wala kay papel. Maybe wala kay ballpen. Maybe wala kay gikaon na ng gabi una, right? Maybe wala kay load para mag-research. What if namatyan mo giro atong gabi na to, wala ka nakabuhat sa mga assignment. Diba? So there are so many things that would actually affect your assignment. So maisip nila na maybe you're dumb or stupid because you haven't done the assignment, or maybe you're lazy kaya wala ka nagbuhat ng assignment. But the truth is, there are a lot of things that happened to you the night before. Right? So wala ni mo na trabaho ang assignment. So life is complex. Meaning, dili ta maka-judge dayon sa isa ka tao. Ito maingon na tapulan mo na siya. Na kuan na siya, wa mo siya buot. Maybe ang tapulan lang nga side ato ang nakit-an because wala to nakita tong iyang kinabuhi sa likod. We're not observing the lives of everyone 24/7, no? Dili gay nato ma-observe ang lives ng tuwang parents or sa iyong mga igsuon 24/7, like kanang all the time makita mo sila. Ano man makakuyog kay sila sa CR, di ba? Dili man. They have their own activities sa CR na sila lang nakabalo. The point is, we cannot really judge anyone, judge their personhood because we are not observing everyone 24/7, right? So wala siyang point. There are so many things that's happening in our life. It's so complex. So wala siyang point sa complex. Okay, gets me? Gets. Now we move on to the last part, which is ambiguous. This is a bit difficult to grasp. Medyo similar siya sa uncertain o sa complex. But the point here is that one seems to appear like the other. So one seems to appear like the other. Ang isa ka butang daw, it appears like such, pero ang reality dili dito siya kato. Okay, mana siya ambiguous. From the word itself, pag makita mo ning word kaning ambi or am kana kana the term kanang amp or amb, it means both. Okay? For example, ambiguous, ambidextrous kanang word. Sa so, ambidextrous meaning kabalo siya musulat sa duha ka kabot, kabalo siya mag-right, kabalo siya mag-left, may ambidextrous. So ambi meaning both. Kanang amphibian, ano naman ang term amphibian. Ang frogs kay amphibian. Anong amphibian man ang frogs? Kay they can live on land and in water. So both terrains, both areas, pwede sila. Pwede sila sa land, pwede sila sa water. So that is ambi. So ang isa kabutang, it appears like it is, pero in reality, it is not the way it is. Okay? So here's an example. A new company, startup, okay? Kanang new company, it's called a startup. Startup assumes that the customers' wants are the same, only to find out that it only looks like that. In reality, the consumers want something else they can actually afford. So, mana siya. Ang isa ka company na bago pa lang, nag-assume sila na mauna ang gusto sa mga tao. But in reality, dili gyud ay kato ilang gusto. Okay? So, unsa may real life niyang example na kanang kuan solid nga example. Kanang aqua flask. May aqua flask akong maisip ba sa karon aqua flask. Ang aqua flask, ang market, mahal dyan ang aqua flask, right? What if na ay aqua flask mag-abre sa tibungko? Okay? Mato sila GGT ang aqua flask. Kay feeling sa mga managers sa aqua flask na daghan kaayong tao ang ganahan karon sa aqua flask. So siguro kung dalahon na to ang aqua flask sa tibungko, basig kaning mga tanang tao sa tibungko mamalit sa aqua flask kay daghan biya kay ganahan ng aqua flask ka. Pero nganong wala may aqua flask karon sa tibungko sa tan-aw ninyo? Right? One of the reasons is that basin kung magbutang silang aqua flask sa tibungko, basin one day lang siya mahalin. Right? Pagka second day, third day, fourth day, kasi wala na yung mamalit. Why? Because aqua flask is expensive. Mahal ang aqua flask. Murag lang ganahan tag aqua flask. Pero actually, we are not prepared to buy it. We like it, but we are not prepared to buy it. So therefore, it appears na people are going to buy our products, Aqua Flask. Pero if you're actually there, maybe walay mahalin kayo mahal. You have to consider that the community of Tibungco is not a community of wealthy people. Okay? It's a community of farmers, fishermen, marketers, right? Muna ang community sa Tibungco. Employees, they are not owners of companies. Pangutan na yung sarili. Nganong ang SM nasa lanang ang SM nasa lanang because Lanang, Pampanga, Bahada, these are rich communities. Okay. Mga dato ang nadara, subdivisions, right? Nadiha. You won't find a subdivision in Tibungco. Ano may subdivision sa Tibungco? I don't know. I think not. I think wala yung subdivision sa Tibungco. Kanang subdivision na 100 ba? Kanang mingaw, daga mga nindot na balay. Kanang, I don't know. I don't think na ay subdivision sa Tibungco. So the point is, dili tanang tao mupalit sa imong product. It may appear na they like your product, but they might not buy it. Okay, mo na siya ambiguous. Economics ang ato ang example, no? But in a student's life, unsa kaya? Maybe. Kani. This is an ambiguous situation. Na kay crush. Okay. Gikan economics na imong crush. So, for example, na kay crush. Unya, ganang kay kasaya. And it appears that your crush also likes you because your crush is saying hi to you, saying hello. Nag-heart siya sa imong my day. Pag magsugat mo kay tagad siya sa imo. So you might assume that your crush also has feelings for you because it appears na siya feelings sa imo kay kinatagad ka niya. But in reality, maybe your crush is just like that. Maybe your crush is just friendly. Kanang ano lang, managad lang yun siya. Maybe your crush likes you, but not in the same way that you like him or her. Maybe they like you as a person, but they are not crushing on you, right? Pwede na yung naman. So, it may appear na murag crush pod kanila, but actually, they are not having a crush on you. So, mo na siya ambiguous, right? Mura siyang kana pero dili. Okay? Mo na pasabot sa ambiguous. So, these four concepts, kaning volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Here, these are ideas of the world. Okay. Uh, these are ideas of viewing the world. If you understand nga ang kalibutan kay volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, you are going to think twice with your assumptions and decisions. Dili ka magpasagad if you know these things. Wala ang value ani. Dili ka magpasagad. Kay kung magpasagad ka, pataka lang ka, right? So, for example, na kay gusto paliton. If gusto nimo to paliton dayon, kay magpasagad lang ka, basin magmahay ka sa unahan. Or for example, basing naay nanguyab sa imo karon. Anya, in love na kay ka, nakan namiya na igakos oy kay kanang kuan na kay bugnaw kayong panahon, di ba? So, imo na siyang sugton. Kaya nagpasagad ka. But actually, if you know volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, you would think na wait lang, basing kaning iyang feelings kay kanang mag-change ra pud ni dayon, right? Basing pagkahuman sa ulan kay dili na ko niya love, right? Or maybe dili jud kami no, murag kanang basing character development lang ko na gani. Mas dili ta sure basing balhin siya eskwelahan so dili na may maguyab, right? So those are some things. Or maybe it's complex na wait lang kung uyabon ako ni siya, sugton ako ni siya, iyang mga amigo kay mga bulayo bubuti ang mga amigo. So basin ma-appeal ko sa ilahang grupo nga mabulayo gud ko, right? Or something like that. Or basing hala basing ma-change na ko siya kay kanang chuy man kay siya, basing makambyo na ko siya tungod sa akong love. You think? Kaya nga na, it's not easy, no? Or maybe ambiguous na kanang basta giilad lang jud kaniya. Like you think na love kaniya pero actually dili gyud kanang gusto lang niya og physical na contact, right? Kasi gusto lang niya ka-holding hands, gusto lang niya ka, I don't know, think about it. Mati ka na, gusto lang niya physical things. So, kana, if you are aware with VUCA, dili ka magpasagad og decide. So that is the point of this um, lesson. Okay. So I think we have covered everything. So I hope na uh, maka-answer mo sa iyong exam. Maybe the exams are gonna be on Wednesday or maybe Tuesday kung magklase ugma given na ulan karon. Okay? So that is it. I hope na naamoy na retain and please share this video sa inyong classmates kay para medyo maka-learn pod sila or para maka-learn pod sila para magka-idea pod sila sa exam. Okay? So, thank you very much for taking time and see you when I see you. Bye-bye.